Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Canon BTC Writers Room. Let me just stick this little beauty in here. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Paul. Hi, Gemma. It's so lovely to see some familiar faces or some familiar names that are popping up. So, hello. Just adding Saru, so we are about to get started as soon as she comes on. Okay, come on, Instagram, don't that. Hello, Saru.
Hi, Sim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. I'm well. How are you doing? How are you doing this? What day? With beautiful Wednesday. If I've lost track of days. I'm like, what day is it? What day is it today?
I hear you, man. I hear you. It is just hectic these days, man. But I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It feels like things are starting up again, and the world is getting crazy again. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It feels really good. And there's a lot of things that we're all juggling right now, right? But it's really important. We live, yes, we live. Hi, Rim. Thank you for letting us know that you received the books as well from last week. So we're really happy about that. Great that you received them. But yeah, today we have Lydia Diamond joining us today, and couldn't be more excited actually. I know we say this every episode, but we're just so excited that we need a new word. If you think of a new word that we should use instead of excited, just let us know, because that seems to be our just go-to word right now. It's like we're just so excited, but I think it just feels like a real privilege to be able to share our network with you, right? And to be able to have conversations with creatives that we just absolutely adore, that we have so much respect and time for, and that we have thoroughly enjoyed their plays and their perspective on the world. So it's just a brilliant opportunity for us to do that, right? So we are going on this journey with you guys, which always feels good. For those who don't know anything about Beyond the Canon, or who the hell we are, my name is Samelia Hodge Dalloway. I'm the founder and artistic director at Beyond the Canon. And Saru, do you want to introduce yourself,
yes.
lovely?
Hi, my name is Saru, and I am the associate producer at Beyond the Canon. I absolutely love it. I love my job. I have the best job in the world. And basically, when Sim and I started this whole BTC writers room, it was out of the need to sort of support students and make them feel that they had, I don't know, some kind of solidarity with the artistic community, and just to sort of kind of teach them and empower them about all this beautiful work that is out there, and these incredible writers that have created this amazing legacy that is very much theirs to own and theirs to take and sort of demand from institutions, as well as just spread like wildfire and really take ownership of it. So yeah, look, honestly, producing this is so good, and I'm really excited. I'm always excited on a Wednesday to get people to do this. And Lydia Diamond. Very exciting. Very exciting.
And you know what? I have to say that my husband, in particular, is so excited that we have Lydia Diamond. He calls her his artistic auntie.
Ah,
That's what he calls her. So he just has like just the most amount of like, and he's a playwright too, as you know. So it's really lovely, just like their relationship. In terms of like how much like he just looks up to her and just admires her writing. So yeah, so BTC Writers Room. For more information about Beyond the Canon, please do check out our website on www.beyondthecanon.com. And on there you will find all of the information that we have gathered from doing the BTC Writers Room, the work that we've done in drama schools for our Beyond the Canon showcases. So I'm seeing even my artistic auntie, you know, can't wait to hear from her. Yeah, and you'll find more information, and you'll see some of our videos. So definitely check out our videos if you want to learn more about our Beyond the Canon showcases. They're monologue showcases that we've done in various different drama schools in the UK, and we've also done it in the US too. And it gives students the opportunities to connect, engage, and perform the work that that I've researched along the years that are cited in my two book monologue anthologies. But it also encourages them to also look for sort of more work as well that have been written specifically with POC actors in mind. So definitely check that out. And we're looking to do more of the Beyond the Canon showcases, so please stay tuned for that. Talking about what's been going on, just give us a few highlights. What's happening in your world, Saru? And I'll do the same.
Oh my goodness, let's see. I own a film production company as well, and things have been kind of picking up right now. It's been kind of really hard because so many of our productions were put on hold whilst the quarantine was happening, which is frustrating. I cannot begin to tell you, but it's exciting now because you can sort of start planning for it as well, and and obviously try to do it as safely as possible because we gotta be safe. God mercy, gotta be safe. Which is kind of nice. Okay. Also, I'm missing quarantine traffic. I'm not gonna lie.
You're missing it?
Yes, quarantine traffic.
You must be the only one, Saru, that's missing quarantine traffic right now.
Quarantine traffic was the best thing, Sim. You had all the roads clear as if your dad did.
Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
I was like the best thing I've ever seen. I swear to God. I was like, what is this? I drove to Leicester in like an hour and a half. And I was like, yay.
I hear you.
So I miss that now because I've been getting stuck in traffic quite a lot.
Everyone's back out now. Everyone's back out now.
Yeah.
So I'll just share a couple of things because, we're using this platform for advocacy. So I just want to share a couple of things. So if you, Gemma said, rush hour is back. Oh my God, I am not in the UK, so I don't have that experience. I haven't seen rush hour yet over here. I think people are still taking it relatively easy.
That's nice.
But what I would say is that I am super, super excited. We open Reginald Edmond, which is my husband's show. It's an online play. It's part of Black Lives, Black Words, plays for the People Festival. And his play is the opening play. And I've directed it, so I'm happy about that. And it stars the amazing Kamal Bolden. So definitely check that out. It's called Ride Share. If anyone's interested in booking tickets for that, just visit blacklivesblackwords.org to purchase your tickets. But it's open today and it closes on Sunday. So definitely check that out. Also, it's been announced now that I'm speaking at the Big Drama and Theatre Education Debate. So if anyone's interested it's free to attend, so definitely check that out. And it's on Wednesday, the 15th of July. Just Google Big Drama and Theatre Education Debate, and it's at 4:00 UK time. So definitely check me out. I'm just having a little speech. I'll just be sharing my opinion on the diversification of drama material, so definitely check that out. And I also want to big up the students right now, man. I have read the action plans that you guys are putting together and demanding change from your institutions, and I just want to take this moment. I just think we should just give people an applause for that. So definitely those that have been a part of creating those action plans in various different drama schools, wish you guys, we're here for you. We just want to say that first and foremost. And we will continue to advocate and to support you in any which ways that we can. But yeah, it's just huge well done. Huge well done. Oh, we've got Bethany saying, I read at the gates of Gaza. Yes! So Bethany won the play. So as you know, we give away plays. We give away free plays not free plays, sorry, we give away, free in terms of free of charge. We don't give away free plays, we give away free plays to students or anyone that's in an academic or artistic training course right now. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you do fit that criteria, then be sure to put a thumbs up and request to join. And then I will add you in after, but do that now. Oh, Bethany said that it was beautifully written. She's talking about At the Gates of Gaza, that she's now read, thanks to the BTC Writers Room. She said it was beautifully written and she was very moved by it. So thank you, Bethany, for not only obviously getting the play, letting us know that you received it, but for also reading it too. This is the whole point. This is why we're doing this, so that everyone not only just fills their home libraries of plays, but they also read and also share these stories of other people. So thank you, Bethany, for doing that. Okay, so let's move on. So for people who haven't been a part of this or haven't engaged with us before, we interview playwrights. So obviously today is Lydia Diamond, that's our special guest today, but we also ask them of 3 plays that they wish they would have read before they entered the professional industry. So be ready to have your pen and paper ready to write down what recommendations come from Lydia Diamond. You do not want to miss that. And then therefore, like, we have partnered with Bloomsbury and Playwrights Canada Press, who will be providing everyone with a discount code so that they're able to, if they're not as fortunate to win a play, they can definitely purchase a play, but at a great discount. So Saru, do you want to just talk about the discount?
Yes, of course. Basically, they are so amazing. Apart from donating these incredible books, what they've also done is they have given us, Bloomsbury has given us 30% off of any kind of actual physical copies of text, and up to 45% for the e-versions of these plays. So you just need to go to our website if you need a reminder on what we've been giving away so far. The code is BTC 2020 when you go to checkout, and you will be able to access those discounts. And Playwrights Canada Press, at the moment, everything on their website, all of their beautiful, wonderful play written stock is currently 25% off. So if you go there, you'll be able to access all of those things. It's really amazing. Oh, check out on our website at BTC Writers Room. You'll also be able to see all the previous choices that our guests have chosen as they the plays they wish they had read prior to entering the industry. And there's links to those discounts as well.
Yeah. So great stuff there. Alrighty then. So should we talk about our guest, our special guest that we have coming on in just a few minutes? So Lydia Diamond is I love the fact that her surname is Diamond. Like, don't you wish your surname was Diamond too? Like, I really do have that like surname envy right now. I'm like, oh, it's such a lovely name. So Lydia Diamond, she is an award-winning playwright. Okay, she's an American playwright, and her work includes Tony Stone. It also includes Smart People, Stick Fly, which if you haven't read, please get your hands on that. That's like brilliant play. And it also includes The Bluest Eye. I mean, The Bluest Eye is an adaptation of Toni Morrison. Anyone knows The Bluest Eye? It's one of those classic iconic books, and then she adapted it for the stage. So we're definitely going to ask her about that. Working on the Toni Morrison piece. The play that we give, the anthology, it's not even a play, the anthology that we're giving away is
It is the Methuen Drama Book of New American Plays, and it is stocked. My goodness, it is really beautiful.
Beauty. And it has like amazing plays in there. So we've got plays by Marcus Gardley, by Young Jean Lee, by Katori Hall, by Christopher Shin. You don't want to miss out on getting your hands on this anthology. You know, this is absolutely incredible. So definitely let us know and request to join us if you want to win this anthology. All right. Okay, so is Lydia ready for us?
No, not yet.
Oh, she's not ready for us yet.
No, not yet. You keep talking. I'm gonna step out so I can see if I can help her, just to make sure we don't have any
Cool.
technical glitches.
Okay,
Bye,
fantastic.
guys.
All right then. Thanks. Bye. Okay, you lucky people are just left with me for the minute. So what I would say is that these playwrights, and I know because I think my husband's probably somewhat of an exception, is that through doing the BTC Writers Room, we're just having to introduce people to the Instagram Live. So that's what we're doing. This is absolutely, we're going to just be patient and wait for Lydia to join us. She will be joining us, don't worry. And don't worry, guys, because I know that we still owe you that interview with Mojisola Adebayo. We have not forgotten about that. We're putting a date in the diary and we're going to get that interview over to you ASAP. Like I said, it's just been an incredibly busy time at the moment, where we are literally just kind of chasing our tail a bit, because I've been directing, as you know, and been having many Zoom meetings like everybody else. So has anyone got anything that they want to share here? Well, we've got a few minutes spare. What's been happening in your world? Any sort of exciting news, anything that we should be looking out for, anything you want to share with the network for them to engage with at this time? Anything? I love Annie's like, yes, we are lucky. Hi, Annie. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I just forgot to pin. That's so terrible of me. Usually I'm really good. That's the first thing I do. So I'm just going to quickly just pin sort of information about BTC Writers Room and our discounts, the discounts that we're offering everybody at this stage, which is great. I really don't want these BTC Writers Rooms. So put your thumb up if you want the BTC Writers Room to continue. Let us know. Okay. Thank you, Annie. That is so sweet of you. Like we said, we've got a lot of things coming up right now. We are talking to a lot of drama schools right now as well, so you'd be happy to hear that. And we'll see what we can do, really, just in terms of the future, right? And if you've got any ideas, then definitely tell us. We are trying to sort of move everything along as quickly as we possibly can. We know that in the past it's been very slow moving. The change has been very slow moving. But thanks to the students and their action planning, and let me just say, they were, you know, I was trying to do my own bit of protesting when I was in universities, but what I would say is that the fact that you guys have grouped together to create something so comprehensive, so clear, so direct, and also that there's a charge, I think it's coming up in various different schools as well, which really is what's needed, right? And it's going to be just interesting just to hear sort of what the response is from those action plans. I don't know what the response is just yet. So we'll see how that is. Bethany, where is we've called this the Writers Room. So this is the BTC Writers Room. This is what we've called it. We thought, you know what? It's kind of a spin on the word that we're bringing in writers to talk about their plays, and we're bringing in writers to talk about sort of to share the experiences from their sort of writing caves to something that's a bit more transparent and open, so that everybody can start to learn about sort of the different plays that people have been inspired by, basically. So let's just see where we are at. Has anyone got any sort of questions that they want to ask or throw my way? I'm loving the interaction that's happening right now. Any questions coming up? Let me just have a look here. Okay. at times like this, I think you miss just being in the same space as people, I think sometimes. But this is really lovely. That's why I love like the questions that come up here and being able to answer anything that anyone has to say. You said whoops. It's absolutely fine. I mean, it's great to get clarity over it. That's perfectly fine. Bethany, do not worry. I'm sure that there might be other people that will probably asking the same thing, so that's absolutely fine. I'm just trying to see. I'm sure that these messages come up just a little bit slower than expected. So just to recap, was it too many thoughts need to think? Okay, don't worry. Bethany, you take your time. It's fine. If there's any questions that you have, definitely feel free to ask them. And in the meantime, really be thinking about any questions that you would like me to pose to Lydia while we kind of get her set up and good to go. So we can do that. So where should we go? So anybody who would like to win this play, if you are a student of any kind, we might have to flip this around a bit while we kind of get Lydia to join us. Sadly, Lydia is not a part of this anthology, but if you go on you can use our discount codes to get her plays. But this anthology is, to be honest with you, this was like a little Bible for me, really. It really introduced me to writers that I had never heard of before. And that's the whole point of why we do BTC Writers Room, right? Is to get people familiar with those who they may have never heard, but exceptional writers. So definitely, so let me know. You have a weird question, Bethany? Oh Lord, I'm scared. What is the what is the weird question? What's the weird question that you want to ask? When someone says weird questions to me, like I never know what that I get scared. I mean, like probably what most people would get scared. What is the weird question? Okay. If anybody else has got any questions that they want to ask, do let me know. Actually, Ibrahim, do you want to just talk more to, do you want to join us and just talk more about because I feel like I'm talking on behalf of all of the students out there in terms of the action plan. Are you happy to come on live now and just talk a little bit more to that to just give people a bit more detailed information about the action plans? Oh, okay. So Bethany's asked a question. Are you happy to do that, Ibrahim? Hold on. So Bethany asked a question. Let me just go to the question that Bethany asked. As a writer, we write from imagination, etc., and also research. But how would someone advise a writer about writing a character from a different background to theirs? So actually, I'm keen to know that plays. Okay, so let me just. So in terms of that, what I would say is that research is definitely key. Research is definitely key, and I think that there's many ways to research. Oh, there's
Can you
many
guys see
ways
me?
to research. Yeah, we can see you now. We can
There
see
we
you
go.
now.
Okay.
Bethany, let me come back to that. Let me come back to that question just shortly, and it might be a good question to ask when Lydia's around as well to get her perspective on it. But Ibrahim, while we've got you live, do you want to? I always found myself just trying to sort of articulate in the best way that I could about the action plans that you guys have all come together to create, and I think it's
Yeah.
so comprehensive. It's like 99 pages. Like it was definitely more
Yeah.
advanced to where I was when I was a student, and I was just completely just amazed and excited. It was just so refreshing. It was so comprehensive. You've kind of thought
Mm.
about every single corner of change that
Yeah.
would need to happen. And so do you want to just talk a little bit to that?
So I mean, the process has been like really collaborative, and I think that's
Hmm.
what's really important in this sort of plight for getting equality at schools is that it's about conversation. And I actually had a really conversation with someone, and it's not finding the end goal. It's about making this thing
Yeah,
a constant conversation. And in order
that's
to
right.
facilitate that, we've got to have mentors. It's about the mental well-being of your students as well. and things like I hadn't thought about it, but mentorship, well-being, areas that Black people can go to access someone who can communicate with them, someone who's been through the system and understands what it's like, because you can't do that in most institutions. And I think as well, like, the action plan itself is about rewriting the institutional norms that we face. So how can we make the system not just good for us as Black people, and not just good for white middle class men, but for everybody? And I've actually realized the action plan, a lot of the things help everyone. Like, it's not just us. So things like changing the curriculum so that we're looking at a more diverse range of plays. I know that at East 15, on the BA acting course, we've completely rewritten modules. Modules are being changed so that we're looking at a more diverse range of playwrights. Why? Because when we graduate, yes, it's good to know Chekhov, but you need to know what's going on in the canon, in the modern canon, what is actually happening now. And if we're not even being taught how to access, how to process, how to engage with, then you're on a back foot. You're almost at a disadvantage. So yeah, the action plan itself, like, I would go into loads of details about it, but it probably take me quite a long time.
Yeah, no. And how long did it take? How long did it take to draft? Because I was a screaming. I was like, oh my god! It felt like it just happened overnight. But this must have been something that was, in the making for some time now.
It's a weird one because it's been brewing. It's been brewing for a very long time. So because it's been brewing, and there's been conversations before in the past, and there's been conversations and these conversations have happened for years, 10 years. We've got alumni coming back from 2003, 2005, saying we had this conversation, you just didn't do anything about it. Now we've got the catalyst to be able to make things happen quicker. So it took, I would say, to get the action plan, it took about a month and a half, 2 months. But that's quite quick.
That is very quick. And how can people access it? How does one go about access? It's published. So, and how do people access the action plan? So
there's a couple of action plans that have gone around. So the one that I've been heavily involved in has been the East 15 one in particular. But that's been fed into, let me get the name of the group. There's basically an association of drama schools, and they're coming together and writing an even longer action plan. But the one for the East 15 one is quite easy to access because it's on the website. So when you go to East 15 website, it's literally called Action Plan, Anti-Racism Action Plan. And I mean,
so if you're interested, go on the East 15 website, and it's the anti-racist action plan. Is that correct? Okay,
what I'll do is when I'm off here, I'll just post the link so everyone can access it.
Thank you.
But it's just conversation. Like, and I think for me, I think I might actually do a podcast about this, because I think it's really important to see where the Black Lives Matter movement goes in this country, and how we can change things in this country. Because Akala said something really interesting. He said, like, the situation in America is a different situation, and for us to not acknowledge that it's different would mean that we are not respecting what they've actually had to go through, and we've got to basically respect that our situation is different. And a lot of the racism that we face is within the systems which are invisible and hidden. So to combat that, we must use this, and we must come with an intellect that they go, oh, that just makes sense. We need to change that. And I understand the militancy totally, but for me as a creative, and me as a person who's working within a university institution, I think it's much better to get people on side by conversing with them, challenging ideas, to bring them to different spaces where they go, I get it, but I couldn't get it because I was in a predominantly white space. So when we change these elements, and we introduce people to different things and to different insights, I think that's when we get the change. And that's where the action plan is taking people. It's changing the curriculum. So when people do come to East 15, and I mean, I've heard it. Oh, I've never met a black person before, but you're at a London drama school. Oh, no, but where I'm from, it's such a small area. We just don't see people of color. So then how do we educate those people? Because it's our responsibility as a school to educate. And I say we because when I graduate East 15 and I go for jobs and they say, where did you train? I say East 15. That's my school. So I must say we
Yeah,
because I'm part of the institution.
That's
You
right.
see? And there's an argument. I don't know how you feel about this one that
Okay,
says
oh goodness.
we don't have to we shouldn't have to educate our educators. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I think I said that to you, right? I was like, you know, when you're in a student situation, when you're in an education institution, I think it's about the weight that you carry as somebody who is from a diverse background, right? So I think not only are you there just trying to just navigate the institution itself and trying to just learn and trying to obviously focus on getting good grades or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
you're then having to have the burden of also thinking about how you can diversify your own curriculum that's been given to you by your teacher. So I think that there's an additional heavy weight that we all carry. And some people, you know, when you think about even going to higher education, I mean, that in itself can cause a lot of anxiety in people, you know, and depending on like how much independence they may or may not have had before that very moment.
Exactly.
Let alone if you are now in an education institution that you have to then now sort of become the teacher in the room, or you're then at such a young age having to be the expert when it comes to matters of anything pertaining to race or culture. And I think that that's something that no student would signed up for when they started, you know, when they, you know, and that's something that it's something that's always sort of put on us, and then you have to find the language around it. And I think that that's what's also hard, especially when I think I didn't go to drama school, but I did go to university, and it was a predominantly white university. So therefore, trying to find the language to articulate my feelings of frustration, that in itself can feel very isolating. So I just think that it's really important in terms of like when you touched on well-being, that is such an important part. And I'm so happy that that is a part of the action plan that's been devised by not only East 15 student bodies, but also by sort of other institutions. And I'm really happy to hear that there's a collaborative effort as well to create a more of a sort of it has to be. It has to, definitely.
Because
so I am just so in awe of you guys.
In the past, it's come from one voice, and this is where educating our educators. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, and now you've explained it, it makes so much sense. It's so true. I just want to challenge like all students that universities were originally set up as research grounds to understand and research a topic. So if me as a student of that field, I should come in and challenge it. And I think what's happened in the past, and this is, you know, it's wrong. I mean, I remember because I was at UEA and I was studying American studies. And ironically, I was the only person of color in an American studies faculty. And I thought to myself, this is interesting because we're talking about African American rights, and I feel uncomfortable. And then it was, oh, Ibrahim, what do you think? Oh, Ibrahim, your experience. No. That's educating your educators. But when it comes to how about we look at a different paradigm? How about we look at it from a different different perspective, and everybody gets the chance to challenge that perspective. That's when we're not educating the educators, we all become the educators, right? So go on.
Exactly that. And I'm by no means saying that sharings of one experience or challenging or adding things and putting things on the table and saying, hey, we're looking at this, have you thought of that? That's fantastic, because actually, like you said, it is a research ground. I'm saying when there's nothing, zilch, like there's nothing to start off from, not to kind of create that conversation, or where the educators themselves haven't gone out of their way to even look at what they're teaching and going, am I a part of the problem or am I part of the
Yeah.
solution? And I think that that's where I'm
Yeah.
saying that actually we need to get more of a balanced effort. And actually, it really does start with the educators really looking at
It
what
does.
they're teaching and
Hmm.
not just putting all of that responsibility on the shoulders of the
Of
one,
a
the
student.
two, or the very few students that are part of
Yeah.
the student cohort. So I think that there's definitely an exchange that can happen, that should
Hmm.
happen, but it shouldn't be just 100%
Nah, it
responsibility of
shouldn't.
those said
And
students.
that's why we created a body of students. It's got to be a body of people who discuss things and then hold the school accountable. You know,
Yeah,
it's about accountability as well. And
exactly.
it can't, as you say, it can't be one person. It just doesn't work. And I'm so happy because Chris Main actually said, we went to an alumni meeting, he goes, I do not want to lead this. And this was
Hmm.
great words, man. I do not want to lead this. This is for us to discover and understand and change together. And I just thought, brilliant. That's what you expect. And Chris Main is the director of the school.
Hmm.
And to have someone like that at the helm steering the ship, I personally stand behind, because then we know that we're working as a group, as a collective. And that's what creating and theatre is about. It's about the collective, changing something and sharing something. And if you don't even instill that into your students at school, they're going
Yeah,
to be lost. They're going to be so lost because
yeah,
they're going to be individuals. And that's not where we get the passion and the juice and the sauce, you know? Now I'm just quoting songs.
definitely. So now, but no, I really want to, I'm so happy that, like sometimes things happen and we have hiccups here and there. And actually, this for me is a silver lining because I've been wanting to have this conversation for some
Mm.
time now, ever since you dropped the action plan in my inbox. And Saru and I have just been going through his action plan and literally just been like, oh my God, this is so good. And it's so funny because we've had people saying, oh, but would you advocate for this? I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? Like, why
Mm.
would I not advocate for this? Like, this is something that's hugely important. It's something, and I always feel like I sometimes do projects to feed my younger self. Like, so whatever
Yeah.
I felt starved of when I was younger is actually to make those changes so that we
Mm.
can so that we can start to work differently, act differently, do you know what I mean,
Mm.
and actually provide a different experience for the generations that are going to be coming up after us.
Exactly. And
So
that's the
I'm like,
magic, Sim. That's the thing. I
yeah,
know, like, I speak to alumni and I was like, guys, you done did say this 10 years ago. Yeah, great. But or they've started initiatives and they haven't shared it. But my big
right,
thing is, we've got to make it. Now is a change. Like the George Floyd murder and all the catalyst that we've got now. It can't
yeah,
be a quick explosion.
no,
It must last for generations. It must last. When I'm 90 and decrepit and got a walking stick, I want to be looking back and saying, "Oh, you lot are doing that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what we set up."
that's what, and that's what's
You
so
see?
beautiful about what I'm seeing here. This is beautiful
Yeah.
because I'm like, this is great. I remember going into East 50. Anyway, let's do one. We're just me. If you're interested in having sort of like Ibrahim and I chop it up a
A
bit,
bouncing
have a
session.
sort of a more conversations about this, then definitely let us know. Like, I just think that this is
Mm.
such an important moment. This is such an important conversation. And of
Yeah.
course, if you do your podcast and you want me to be a part of it, of course I'll be down for
Yeah.
that.
On
But
it.
just let me know, holler at me. I am all for it.
100%.
But I can see that I think Lydia is with us right now, so I'm going to just
Yes,
kind of like
Lydia.
scoot over to her. But
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you so
yeah.
much for joining, and thank you for telling us all about the action plans that's happening that the
For
students
sure.
have designed and have given to these institutions to say, hey, this is what we want. So thank you so much for coming on and just
Thank you for
giving
inviting me. See you guys
more
in
of
a bit.
a clarity
I'm
around it.
listening.
All
I'm
right, then take
listening.
care. All right, then. Cool. Bye. Okay, let's get. Oh, I'm so excited. Come on, Lydia, come through. Lydia, come through. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, man. I love it. I love what's going on right now in the student bodies. Fantastic. Brilliant work. Okay, I'm just waiting for her to join. It's anticipation, right? You're just like waiting, waiting.
Oh
Are we
my
there?
goodness.
Yes!
Please accept my apology. It was like espionage getting on because I'm old and I don't use Instagram. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
First of all, you are not old. And second of all, it's absolutely fine. We are all trying to get accustomed to things right now, right? During the COVID-19, I've never used Zoom so much in my life. And I'm like,
I
oh, it can do this.
I have finally mastered Zoom, but I knew at the beginning of the social media when you were a child that it was not the medium for me. It would not have been good for me.
Right.
And so I've um, actively stayed off of it. So once I found I'm so sorry. I see
Don't
it now,
apologize.
and then
We are here.
there are
We're together.
there are messages scrolling across my face. Is that right? Am I supposed to
Yeah.
be reading them?
No, so you don't need to pay attention. I would pay attention to the comments because I'm sure people are going to have wonderful questions for you, Lydia. What I would say is that we might get cut off in 20 minutes time, but just do what you did and we'll just continue. We'll just continue. Oh,
Oh,
just change your camera around.
that's my there I am. This is
This is the beauty about Instagram. This is why people love Instagram because it's just live. We're just here, we're just living life
and
and whatever happens, happens.
I finally mastered Zoom because I teach through Zoom since COVID. So
Right.
I just apologize. It is so nice to be here with you, and I'm so flattered that you would invite me.
Oh, of course. And you know what? You know my husband would have given me a hard time if I didn't invite you. Let me just say that let me put that out there because Reggie adores you. Absolutely adores you. So
Such,
when we said that you were coming on,
since I
he
saw
was
you
like, yeah,
in Chicago.
that's right. That's right.
Are you
Yeah, we saw. Sorry?
are you in Chicago right now?
Yeah, I'm still in Chicago. Yeah, I'm still in Chicago. Still here. Still here. It's a beautiful place to I think just in terms of the community, I mean, you'll know the community here. It feels really special actually.
I
But yeah, it's it's been we're living in some really kind of interesting times right now.
yeah.
And and the thing about it is that it's so complex, right? So attaching a words to what we're going through now right now is really difficult.
Oh,
Because we can see the changes that are happening, the pressure that's been put on. We were just talking to a student at East 15. I don't know if you know what's going on, but the students have been uprising and they have created an action plan, which is a very comprehensive, robust action plan that they have put to their institutions and
I
said,
love
this is
it.
the
You know, I
change that we
saw
want.
the one the similar one from industry people. And it is exciting, and it'll be interesting to see how people respond. It really will.
Right.
I vacillate between hope and despair, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Me and you both, Olivia, me and you both. So let's just I've just got a couple of questions for you before we go. And then like I said, if I say at any point we just need to just log off and just log back on again, it just means that because Instagram after an hour it kind of just cuts you off. So
Yeah,
I'll just do exactly the
right.
same thing that I've just
Yes,
done.
half
So
an hour late. Okay. Okay.
yeah, just they'll just stay on the line. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's talk about you and how brilliant you are, which every writer is like, oh, but let's talk about you and how brilliant you are. So just tell us a little bit about like your start, and just I heard that you created, and this I thought was absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna have to read my screen for this because it's got quite a long title. I'm sure
I
you know what I'm about to say.
Are you the name of my first theater company?
Exactly. So
And
let me just say this.
production company with good things to say and a lot of nerve productions. Another
Exactly.
small black theater with good things to say and a lot of nerve productions. Did I get it right?
That was the title. That's the
Yeah.
title. That is a title and a half.
Yeah.
Another small black theatre company with good things to say and a lot of nerve productions.
That's
I just love that. So
what
can
we
you talk
did
to that?
at 23, you know? I had moxie.
So
So
tell us a little bit more about the start and even how did that theatre company come about and the name of it as well.
absolutely. So I studied undergrad at Northwestern University, and I was one of only 2 or 3 people, and sometimes the only one in a theater company, and not theater company, in the theater department at Northwestern. There were no Black professors of any color at that time, except Charles Smith would come in, a wonderful playwright, not Chuck Smith to be confused with the director, but Charles Smith, the playwright, and he would come in
Right.
and teach playwriting. And so I saw this Black man walking across the campus, and I followed him, and I said, "What do you teach? I'll take it." And he was like, "Oh, I teach playwriting." So that is what happened. I didn't know I was a playwright prior to that. I was trying to be an actor, and it was kind of the first place I really got the kind of affirmation one needs to know, like, oh, this is a thing I can do. So I still didn't know, hadn't been introduced to anything but the Canon. I'd gone to school in Waco, Texas, to high school. So you can imagine, I maybe knew of Lorraine Hansberry and James Baldwin's play. You know, that was kind of it. And so I had, it gave me like, the combination of being ignorant to the wealth of work in the diaspora and having the freedom to find my own voice, because, you know, in teaching playwriting, I often find that people need to write in the styles of people they know before they find their voice, and that is completely developmentally okay. But I did have the freedom to presumptuously think I was inventing a thing, right? Which was good and bad, but good mostly, for having had a chance to find my voice early. And even, I think, have a voice that was defined mostly by doing a day's work well and less by, this is a Lydia Diamond play. I think you can tell me if that's true.
Yes,
After graduation,
definitely.
am I gassing on and now we're about to be over? After graduation, I started my own theater company because there wasn't a lot for me to be in. And so it could be called a vanity endeavor, you know, except I also felt that I was changing the world with my hard-hitting political commentary, right? So I wrote plays that I was in, and my friends directed them and played in them with me. And I still didn't think of myself as a playwright. And I continued and had like 10 years of an acting career while I was writing plays. It is thanks to the Black theater community in Chicago that I found my way and started to gain my identity as a playwright. So that was Impact Theater Company and Congo Square Theater Company and CTC Theater Company, which doesn't exist anymore, and Chuck Smith, the director, who ran a contest called the Theodore Ward Prize, which I entered 3 times and first got 3rd place and then got 2nd place, and then Stickfly won 1st place. That took me to a career in the regional theaters. Eventually, I figured out that I'm not good at acting and I am good at playwriting. And I said, I'm a playwright. And then I took off. So that's my story.
Amazing. And then the theatre company, how did the theatre company come about?
It was a time in Chicago, and I imagine it's somewhat the same now, but you had only to call yourself a company, write rehearse a play, find a little place to produce it. There was a theater, there was a vegetarian restaurant called Cafe Voltaire that anyone in my generation had a play in. Neil LaBute was there, and you know, everybody had a play at Cafe Voltaire. I worked at that cafe, and I made hummus in the kitchen, and I was the hostess, and I ran that theater space eventually. But I produced my own little things there, and so you know, there was an example that had already been set. The Looking Glass Company those people had been classmates of mine in my freshman year. They were seniors. So there was already a model for how you can do that in Chicago. And again, the moxie of being 21, 22, why wouldn't I be able to do that? And I wrote letters it was before emailing, right? I typed letters to all of my, anybody that was a grown-up that I knew and that my mom knew and that my family knew. And I said, hey, can you send me like anywhere between $25 and $50, or 15 or 5 is fine, so I can do a play. And I probably got like $600, and I did a play. And I called myself, and you could write a press release, send it to the papers, and a reviewer would come. So I got reviews in the papers that were favorable, because I think also the ecology of Chicago theaters, that people want the little dog to win, right? I'm sure the plays were okay, but I got stellar reviews and I felt like a playwright. And then I found a place that became a home, which was Chicago Dramatist. And I know Reggie's at Chicago Dramatist, your husband. And that's when I learned that this is a career and how to treat it like one. So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh goodness, you said so much there, and I think about sort of all of the companies as well, and it's kind of bittersweet right now, right? Because you go, I really hope that they survived this pandemic, this time of during the pandemic. But I really
they will, because I don't think we can let them not.
No, exactly. We can't afford for them not to.
And Impact and Congo Square have been around for such a long time. I think under-celebrated as work from the diaspora is, because we live in this country, underfunded, because that's what we do in this country. And we have to take care of them.
Definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. I so badly want to ask you a question, because you adapted The Bluest Eye, which is the Toni Morrison novel, and I am like, how did this come about? How did you end up getting your hands on this book and then being the person that adapted it to the stage? Like, I would love to hear that story.
Okay, it was not my idea. I'd been commissioned, my first commission after my big, splashy, poorly reviewed play at the Goodman, my first regional show. Martha Levy, the then artistic director of the Steppenwolf, and Kurt Columbus came to see the play, and they commissioned me, came to see Stickfly. No, I'm sorry, I'm saying Stickfly. It was called The Gift. They came to see The Gift Horse and commissioned me to write a play, and I wrote a play called Voyeur de Venus that they then didn't produce, but Chicago Dramatists did. So they then offered me a next production. I just had my baby, my son, and it was The Bluest Eye, and I had very mixed feelings about it. Not the book. The book it's Toni Morrison, the most extraordinary thing ever. But I felt, and again, I have this, like, I think relatively modest demeanor, but probably an outrageous, I was going to say ego, but I think I mean faith in my own abilities with regards to playwriting. Can't do anything else, can't tie my shoes. I'm a fairly decent mom, I'm a good teacher, and that's all I can do. So I felt that it was precarious to have a play like The Bluest Eye done in what was the whitest white theater in the world. And it was being done for the theater for young audiences. And I just had images of Black and brown children that were, bussed from all over the city coming into this theater. And on the wall was a big picture of the ensemble. And it was just a whole wall of white people and K. Todd Freeman. And I said, they're going to walk into this theater, see a thing that says, this isn't you. This theater doesn't belong to you. And then see a play that, written in the wrong hands, could be a play about dysfunction in a Black family.
Yes.
And I was like the combination of that, and then looking down at my baby and thinking about Picola's baby, I was like, well, I've got to do it because I will do it right. And I can't, you know, and I will say, I don't wonder about it. I think when I see the play at any theater of any size, I'm like, wow, that is beautiful because it's Toni Morrison. And I wrote it to sound as much like, to be Toni Morrison's voice as I could. So how could I go wrong? But that's why I did it. It was important to me that it be in the hands of someone I trust, and that was me.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Seeing your name attached to it, to be honest with you, is what made me feel comforted, if I can use that word. I felt that, you know, when I got my hands on that play, and it does read. I think you've done a marvelous job with it, to be honest with you, Lydia. And anyone that hasn't read it, please do read it, and obviously do read The Bluest Eye if you haven't read that. Definitely get Toni Morrison's Bluest Eye. But yeah, I felt I could only imagine. I mean, there have been some plays, there've been some really poor choices in terms of who adapts our stories, and so, like I said, yeah, just to see your name affiliated with it, your name as the writer who adapted it for the stage, for me, yeah.
So the rest,
you're so right.
Thank you. The rest of the story is that, and I bet now, are we in the last down and about to get cut off? How much time do we have?
You know what? Let's just hold that thought. What I'm gonna do, please, everybody, come back in. I need to just save this and upload it and then start a new video. So please definitely join us back. Lydia, do exactly what you just did to join us.
Well, I did it before. So listen, I'm going to go to the Instagram account, sign in with the sign in.
No, you don't need to sign in. You don't need to sign in. I'm going to just stop this video, but you stay where you are. And all you do is when you see me go live again, you just click. So just to join it again. That's what you're going to do. So don't sign out.
I just sit and wait.
You just sit. You just sit and wait. And you just, as soon as you see me go live, you just press that baby at the top and then join back in again. I'm going to do all the work. Yeah, I'm going to do all the work. You don't need to do anything. I'll get Saru to call you as well, so we just but you're fine. Do it. All you're going to do is just join it. You're going to just see me go live again and you're going to just click it.
I can do this. I trust
you. Okay, good.
Okay,
you can do this. All right then, I'll see you in 2 seconds. Everybody else, please join us. Okay. All right, see you in 2 seconds.